Hey, welcome back to Jameson's Repair Shop. Alright, back on the old Thunderbird. Got quite a bit of stuff done outside around spring is finally sprung here in Saskatchewan. We're seeing a slight bit of frost still at night. Nothing special, but the old Thunderbird still needs some love. So now what I want to start doing, now here's the dilemma. Let me get the door open here. Reach in, get the door open. So here's the dilemma I'm in with this quarter panel. So in order to put the quarter panel on, I need to put the rocker panel on. I don't want to put the rocker panel on until I fix this torque box here. And we talked about this torque box before, but now it's time to dig into it because it's holding up the process. The reason I don't want to put the rocker on yet is because if I find rust on this inner structure member, this piece right here, you can see it or not, then I may not have access to it easily to weld both sides. With the rocker off, I may be able to get it, so I'm just going to leave it. But that rocker needs to be rebuilt. I did bring it out some. It was pushed in there. It needs some welding on it. But this area right here, I need to form. Just set this in a little bit. And there's a piece that goes on the inside that this all spot welded to originally. And there's a flange I didn't get on this yet either. This flange goes all the way down to here, so that has to be welded on. So this video, we'll be working on the torque box. I don't know how much I'm going to get done with it, but I'm going to start stripping it out, taking off all the old rusted stuff, and probably building mostly new, I would say. But let's get at her. All right, first things first, I'll get my cleaning tool, get rid of all this seam sealer in here. And then there's some seam sealer over here as well, and then I gotta find all the spot welds on these plates right here. We'll get that opened up first and see how she looks. I already know there's some rust here in this inner member. So let's get set up and do that. Spot welds exposed. So now I'll start drilling them out. I don't think really you guys need to sit and watch me drill a few spot welds out. So I'll continue on with that, and I'll touch base with you when I get these plates off. There now. That opened up pretty good. So now This looks like this is multi-layered. This is there's a layer here and then this flange inside. This is just a hole on the outer one. Hope you can see that. And on the inner one is, it's like they had plans to put plugs in rather than a plate over it, because it's been pre-drilled and it's there's a offset in it, like a flange in it. So there now I'll clean up here because I see some spot welds that I couldn't get at, and I see some here that I don't know if this will all come off as one piece. So if I get these, that's an interesting design. I don't know if this is only for convertibles or not. I don't think it's different. I don't think it, we'll get it off and have a look at it. So let me do that, and we'll get a good look inside this torque box. So I'm going to clean up a spot there to find those spot welds, and I'll get her off. Alright, so I got this plate off. This one here. That bare metal underneath that. Held up good for that many years with just bare metal. Anyway, some earplugs on. We'll take the chisel and take that off. That's very thin. Even where the metal is not rusted, you can see bare metal. That's like 20 gauge metal. So that's, I have a bunch of 20 gauge, but I could probably use 18 to rebuild that. I'll flatten that back out again. I missed a couple spot welds, that's why it was giving me some struggles. But hey, I'll just make a whole new one of these. Put that aside. So this is looking not bad up in here actually. It's rusted right down here, so the rest is solid. So that's good. So I just have to replace the bottom part of that, as long as I don't have to get in here for anything. Let's see what's in there. Let me get this cleaned out. There's a lot of rust in there. If I have to cut this out, I'll cut it out. But I'd rather just to take this off here and start, and not rather than disturb. Oh, that's solid metal up there. This plate has to come off, so I'm going to get at that. And we'll see what's in there. I may have to do something. All right, too early to tell. Let me clean her up and see what's in there. All right, there she is. Well, let's have a look-see. See what she looks like in there. Well, all needs to be most likely replaced, since this is a high stress area. There's that bulkhead. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. There was a bulkhead in here. Let's see, radiant. Oh, my light's in the way. Or you're blocking my light. So there's that bulkhead. I don't know if I assume it went all the way to the bottom pan. It did over here, I think. Yeah, it did. So all that'll have to be dealt with. Let me have a look. Maybe I can see in here better. She's not bad on the rail over there, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut the bottom out of this. I'm going to move my supports, re-support the area, and this, like you see the holes, it's got to be done. This looks to be lower part of the firewall, because you can see where it was spot welded on here. Now I didn't go out and look, but I'm assuming, yeah, you can feel it there. You can feel it on the other side of the firewall, that there's a joint right here where this lapped over and was spot welded. So this whole section was one piece right out to here, and over to the tunnel, and then over to the kick panel area. So I'm quite sure, let's go have a look. I'm quite sure we can get at it from the other side. So let's take a peek. All right, I'm underneath. I might be able to get at one part of it right in here, but I'm not going to be able to get at it from this side. So it'll all have to be done from the inside. So that means I'm going to have to cut that area out inside there. Here's where it joins on that I was talking about inside right here. There's that hole I have my hand through for the heater hole. So this is going to be good. This is where I drilled the plugs out. So this is the tunnel that comes in. It's in two sections. There looks to be an underpan in here. Like this is a separate piece on the outer part here. I don't want to take all that off. That's part of the structure. So for a little bit of metal work inside there, I'm going to do it from the inside. But I will take this blocking out, move it, and see what's available for room to work. But it looks like it's all going to have to be done from inside. So that means that whole, that floor pan area is going to have to come out of there. All right, so there's no point hanging around under the car anymore. All right, here's the plan. So what I'm going to do, I have this marked off, not this line here, this one here. This line was too far out, and I'll just have to fix the little tail down here. This is actually on the outside of the wheel hump that comes in. So the wheel hump comes in there, because I can see it passes to the outside. I want to keep this all on the inside of the torque box. So I'm going to cut it off there, I'm going to cut it right through there, I'm going to cut it down there, and then I'll get able to get in there and drill those out easily. And I wanted to leave enough that I could flange tool it, because I want this to be lap joint, not a butt weld. So this will all be lap jointed, and of course this will be flanged and plug weld back on. So I'm not worrying about this piece. I'm going to cut right through it. I'll make it, when I get it off the car, I'll get rid of this stuff when I get it out. And that'll give me whole access to all this area. That's what the plan is. So let's get her done. We'll get that cut out and see how she looks. It's looking pretty good. Now this thing right here, this is one great big, this is one part, one assembly. And it's spot welded on the back there. And it only just ends, like, it goes up underneath here. But these arms only end right just in about here, right where these spot welds were, right there, yeah. So I may, because the bottom's rusted off this side as well. So I'm thinking to take this box right out, and most of it's there. It just needs to be rebuilt. And then I have access to the wall behind it, because no doubt that there's rust creeped up in the back of there too. And then I have access to over here around the firewall, the transmission tunnel, because this whole area here needs work. So if I get this out, like I say, it's not much left holding it in there other than these spot welds there, and I think I can get at them pretty easy. Yeah. Of course, there's cleanup, like getting this old piece off. And another thing I wanted to show was on this piece that went in here. Just light it out of the way. You probably already seen it. So this piece in here, that actually has some beads on it. Now I don't know if this is the reason that's why they put this plate over it, because really that thin plate, I don't see it adds a lot of support. But to cover the beads up, maybe, I don't know, to get a smooth floor. Who knows what Ford was thinking on this one. But this was rolling quite well, actually. And now I have access to all this. This is one piece. So if I take this section out, I'll have the whole clear access to this whole bottom section. And then I can get at this, once I get this out, I can do that too. Clean up this, get rid of it. See what's all in behind. I think it's pretty good. Right in here, maybe I'll have to poke around, see what's in there. But that, I believe, is from the other side. Let me have a look. Let's go. Hold on. You probably can't see it, but there is access. I can get at right here. If there's rust in this area, there is room to work here. That's solid though. All right, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep working on her. Well, I've been thinking quite a bit about this section right here and these pieces. Now I was planning on taking these spot welds out, but that seems like a little extra work. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do, I have to remove all this anyway. So I'm going to remove that lower plate, and then I'm going to make up extensions for this. This is all hidden. I don't even care if it even looks like this, but I can make it look fairly close. This one's fine. So I was going to make up little just 90-degree flanges to weld onto those once that plate's off. And it gives me, I'll have access to the whole bottom, and then I can put the plate back on. That plate was molded as one unit. This whole section was all one. So I'm probably going to have to come up in here a ways to get rid of some of this rust, but that's fine. Even though I had to chop out a corner of this bracket setup to see that there's no rust back there, I'm fine with that too. So that's the plan. So I'm going to go underneath again and see what I have to do. I'll probably just take this and just start cutting it out with a zip cut. I've got the car supported further up. That the whole area is open now. I supported it under these rails here. So I think I'm just going to start cutting it out with the zip cut and go from there, because it has to come out anyway. So that's the plan. All right, that took about 5 minutes. So now all that's left here is places that have spot welds, and over top of this frame rail, I'm going to have to cut a little section of this out, and that's fine. That has to be fixed in there anyway, and this area has to be fixed. And then I'm going to cut the bottoms off these, both sides. Should be able to get in there with a grinder. If not, I'll find a way in there, just cut the bottoms off. This piece that I took out right here, because it has a drain hole in it, and it had two drain holes in it. It had this type here where they just made a slit. Of course, it would be done on machine, a slit, and then you punch down. So you can see it better here maybe. So they're just like a triangle, and they just punch it down. So those have to be put back in. And like the drain hole in that. I don't think it matters if it's 100% accurate, but as long as it's there. Anyway, I'm going to continue getting the spot welds out, trying to get this upper. That's all I can do from the bottom, and still not cut anything that I don't want cut. So now it's all going to be up here, and then there's a little piece here that has to come off, so I have access to this inner support rail there. So that's it for now. I'm going to be away from the car for a couple weeks, maybe close to 3 weeks. So there'll be no videos for a little while. Sorry about that, guys. But when I get back, I'll be hitting her again, and I'll start reconstructing this now that I have it stripped out. So that's it for now, and hopefully everyone's well, and I'll see you in 2 to 3 weeks. Thanks a lot for watching.